If you've been buying detailing products because they're cheap on the shelf, there's a good chance you're paying too much. This video comes to you by request. These are the products that I use that have earned a place on my shelf. Not because they're trendy, not because they're flashy, but because they're consistent and they don't waste money. Cheap does not equal affordable. Now today I want to start with soap. And really, soap is where people spend a lot of money. Or I should actually say soap is where people waste a lot of money. Now my all-time favorite, I think the greatest of all time, the GOAT of soap, is CarPro Reset. A lot of you might have your favorite, but I'll tell you why I like this. I prefer thinner soaps, and that's not by mistake. The reason is when I'm pouring out my soap, I measure my soap. I measure my soap in a little container. This is the container. And when I pour that soap in the container, I want all of the soap to go in my foam bottle. Now, I know a lot of very popular soaps are thick. They're thick like honey. And sure, they work great, but the problem is when you pour it in your foam bottle, what you have left in here is soap, and that equals waste. So thick soaps to me equal waste. Thinner soaps are a much greater value for the money. On top of that, a soap like Reset, I generally am mixing 800 milliliters of water in my foam cannon. That's 1.5 ounces of soap. Now there's some soaps that are great, but you're putting 3 ounces in, you're putting 4 ounces in, you're putting 2 ounces in, which is still more than 1.5 ounces. Again, that equals waste. CarPro Reset is one of the greatest of all time. Smells nice, works phenomenal on ceramic coatings. This is the soap that stays in my arsenal. So if I'm telling somebody a soap to use, CarPro Reset. If there's one product that separates professional detailers from off-the-shelf buyers, it's all-purpose cleaner. We call it, and you'll hear it referred to as APC. Now, I've tried many APCs, and the one that I stick with and the one that has made a permanent place in my arsenal is Koch Chemie Green Star. Maybe you've heard about it. This product is versatile. It is safe. It is effective. You think about this product, if I'm dealing with a heavily soiled tire, I might use it 5-to-1. I might mix it in a foam sprayer and spray that foam, and you'll see the tire start to bloom. Generally, I'm using it in just a regular spray gun at 10-to-1. I can use that on door jambs. I can use it on the paint. I can use it really on any surface of the car. I do know some detailers who will use this product on the interior. I personally don't like to use this on the interior because I'm dealing with some very sensitive interiors at times. And so I have a specific product I'll use for that. And we'll get into that one later. So when one bottle replaces 3 to 4 others, the cost per use math gets very simple. And generally running between $15 to $20 a bottle, and you're mixing it 10-to-1, this bottle really lasts, and it's such a great value for the money, and it works so well. So here's one that I definitely recommend to anyone who asks for a good APC. I want to talk for a minute about a product that I was always very skeptical about. And a lot of detailers will call this the multi-tool. And because I was so skeptical about this particular product, it took me a little while to get into it. But once I got into it, I never looked back. And that is Rinseless Wash. Maybe you've heard about Rinseless Wash. Maybe you hear people talking about it. And really you wonder, what is it or what's the purpose? And that was always my question, and I detail cars. Well, I can tell you Rinseless Wash does a multitude of things. That's why you call it the multi-tool. So I've tried many Rinseless Washes. I've tried O&R. I've really liked it. I've tried the Koch Chemie. I love it. I've tried others, and I've liked them as well. This is the one I stick with because this is the one I like the best. I feel that the Koch Chemie RRW, I feel like this one releases dirt better than a lot of others, although I haven't tried all of them, and I know that there's a lot of really good ones out there. This is the one that I find that the cost per use goes way up. Now, as far as Rinseless Wash, what does it do? Rinseless Wash is a solution that I'll put in a 2-gallon sprayer, which is right here. I mix that 256-to-1. I'll use Rinseless Wash as a detail spray. I'll use Rinseless Wash as a drying aid. I put Rinseless Wash in my soak bucket to clean pre-treat my towels before I clean them. Rinseless Wash has so many different applications, but basically what you're doing is you're putting it on a dirty car, and then you use a sponge soaked in the solution of Rinseless Wash, and then you wash the car down, and then you just dry it. For the sake of this video, when you have one product that does 5 different things, it becomes a no-brainer. So Rinseless Wash has earned a permanent place on my shelf. Take a look at the dilution ratios and you'll see why. Now, before we move to the interior of the car, there's one product that I want to talk about a little bit, and I think we need to add some context here, and that's Tire Shine. Tire Shine is one of those products that you'll generally spend some money on because they're not usually dilutable, although some of them are. And there's a couple different types of Tire Shines. There's water-based and there's solvent-based. Now, this is preference. I don't prefer water-based Tire Shines. I generally want to apply it and then not have to reapply it for a number of washes. Although, I do also like to layer Tire Shine on occasion. Not everybody likes the same sheen. Some detailers want more of a satin look, more of a natural look. Some like high shine. I like high shine. So for all of these reasons, the Tire Shine that I go for is actually an off-the-shelf product. I like the Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions Graphene Acrylic Tire Shine. I think it's a really good product for a lot of reasons. It's cost effective because this is, again, a product that I tend to go through, and it's one of those products you end up spending money on, like a rust remover. It just tends to be a little bit more expensive. It lasts, it's durable. You can layer it if you want it even more shine. You can layer it for more shine. There's no sling. I can put it in a spray bottle and it sprays out easy enough. It has graphene in it, so it repels dust. All of these reasons, this is a good Tire Shine. There's others that I use. This is the one that consistently is on my shelf. And so when people ask me, what's a good Tire Shine? What is the one that you use? This is the one that I'll recommend to most people. Again, there's others and they work fine. Turtle Wax Graphene Acrylic Tire Shine. Now, if there's one area where people cause damage and they don't realize it, it's the interior. If you think about your interior, you're oftentimes scrubbing it down, microfiber, maybe something else, and that's an abrasive process. And so I'm very particular about the products I use on the interiors of the cars that I detail. Modern interiors have mixed materials. We're seeing a lot of synthetic leathers. You're seeing natural leathers, Alcantara, suede, vinyl, plastic, glass, you name it. And sometimes a lot of those materials are on the same seat. And so, of course, I never want to introduce damage to any car that I'm working on. You want to be very safe. You want to be gentle, but at the same time, you want to be effective. And so for that, I'm going to jump to Kosh Chemie Polestar. At this point, you're probably thinking I'm a Kosh Chemie fanboy, which is not the case. I just think they make some great products. And I use other products too, as I'm going to demonstrate. But some of these products, they're so good, they're so dilutable, they're so gentle and effective. I've just not found something else that I like better or works as well that presents the same value. You have to remember, there's many products that work really good, but are they a good value? And that's what's important to me. Not only is it effective and safe, but the cost per use. We go back to that cost per use. I use Kosh Chemie Polestar at 10-to-1 consistently. I've never had any damage and it cleans really, really well. A lot of the product videos that you'll see, generally you'll have a detailer and he'll say the 5 products that you need to have. I've gone through 5 already. I can never seem to only get it down to 5 products. There's always the 6th product that I need. And the last one that I want to talk about, and one that's very important, is your glass cleaner. There's a lot of good glass cleaners out there. I've tried quite a few of them. The glass cleaner that I come back to is an off-the-shelf glass cleaner. I think this glass cleaner is the benchmark. I actually, in my opinion, think this is the one that everybody copies. And oddly enough, it's also the least expensive one out there. And it is Invisible Glass by Stoner Car Care. Most people are familiar with this. You can buy this anywhere. You can buy this on Amazon for $4. I can go to Home Depot and get a 32-ounce bottle of this For the same $4, this is consistent every time. It does not streak. It's safe on tinted glass on your exterior and your interior. I generally use a squeegee and then a really good glass towel. I have no residue left. But this one has earned a spot on the shelf because it is consistent every single time. It works so good. Glass is the last thing that you're going to touch on the vehicle, and it's the first thing that people notice. Now, I've shown you 6 products that have stayed on my shelf. Does that mean that these are the only 6 products I use? Absolutely not. There's a lot of different products that I use. I'm constantly trying new things, and chances are you have something that you love. I would love to hear about why you're using the product that you're using and why you like it. So when you're looking for products, look for consistency, look for highly dilutable, look for cost per use. If you stick with those things, you'll generally find really good products that you love and you'll use every single day. And hopefully those products will earn a spot on your shelf. I hope this helped. Please like and subscribe. All the products that I talked about today, I'm going to put in the description below where you can buy them. Most of them are that's the other thing, they're very easy to find. I don't like going on treasure hunts for products. I just want them to be readily available. I hope you liked it. If you have any suggestions for another video, just drop it in the comments below. And please, if you have a product that you love, let me know. I'd love to hear about the products that you're using and why you love them. Have a great day.